Hey guys, it's Cody from Team Epidemic. I'm actually going to be jumping into my 6 Sam profile a little deeper today because we've had questions about it, and there was a lot of things I wanted to talk about in the video that I didn't really have time to because I was wanting to share like little insights and little tips to maximize consistency, but I would end up talking about one card for 10 minutes. So we trimmed it all down and just gave you the good old meat of it all without just giving you too much to take in at once. That was a weird meat joke, but okay. Leaving it in there. Anyways, so we'll say you open up with a hand like this, and I know I talked about equip spells that you don't mind opening, and one of the main things people ask is why I wasn't running Kizaru at 3, and why I even talked about possibly cutting Kageki down. Because a lot of people rely on opening or searching these guys out, and then they will actually normal summon Kageki, and when Kageki is normal summoned, he allows you to special summon another 6 Samurai from your hand, so they would special summon Kizaru. And when Kizaru is special summoned, his effect actually triggers to where he lets you add a 6 Samurai monster of a different attribute from than what you control from your deck to your hand. So right now we have red in our hand, so we would naturally go and grab the blue. And it's a great combo. You go +1, you get 2 monsters on board. I get it. The only thing I don't like about it is that so many times you will normal summon this, and they will hit you with impermanence, or they will hit you with Valor, and then you don't get that second monster that you desperately need out. And then if you don't have one of your extenders, such as Kizaru, or Kizan and Grandmaster in your hand, just one that can special summon itself automatically, then you're kind of locked out of your Assault play for the rest of the turn, so you pretty much just have to pass. So again, it is great going +1. I just don't like how susceptible it is to interruptions, but that's why I kind of tailored this out, and I just saved this guy for one of my Skull Dread summons, or getting it off Hatsume, or even a DDR, and I'll explain that to you later. But we're just going to go ahead and play through that, and I'm going to show you what to do with Cursed Bamboo and Moon Mirror if you open with these guys as well. And this applies to if you open up with one of them, or if you open up with both, doesn't matter. You go ahead and equip your Moon Mirror and your Cursed Bamboo to either one or both of your monsters. It doesn't matter because we're just going to straight link these guys away into a soul, and these go to the grave. Now, Moon Mirror is actually a mandatory effect, so it will automatically trigger. You pay 500 life points and you return it to the bottom of your deck, and it's actually just automatically back in there for you to send with the Soul Day when you're doing the send equip spells and special summon. So that's why I like running Moon Mirror, just because it automatically, like if you do open with it, it throws itself back in the deck, so you're not one equip spell short. But that is mandatory, so it kind of gets its own chain and has to resolve by itself, and then you actually get to pick your order for these guys. So when Cursed Bamboo goes to the grave, it actually adds another bamboo sword from your deck, so you can get Broken Bamboo or Golden. So I never mind seeing this in my opening hand because I know it's going to be a +2. And also, a lot of people don't use a Soul First effect, that when it is summoned, it adds any warrior from your deck to your hand, and you can't normal summon or special summon or use the effect of that monster or that monster with the same name for the rest of the turn. I actually love adding another copy of Kageki from the deck to my hand, and I don't mind because I'm not going to be special summoning it from the graveyard because Soul Charged's dead. They took it from us. So it just puts the card in my hand, and the reason why I do that is because, well, first of all, if I get shut down, then I know next turn I already have a Kageki in hand that I can summon and then do the special summon option off it, so I know I can rebuild my board that way. But the main thing I use it for is when I eventually bring out Skull Dread. If you use enough monsters with different names, you get to draw 4 and return 3. So I will add all these cards to my hand like Kageki, and if I get a Divine Sword Phoenix Blade in the graveyard, I will add it back as well. So I automatically have the 1 card to return, so I technically get to draw 4, return 2, instead of returning actual valuable cards from my hand back into the deck. So, and it works with Divine Sword Phoenix Blade too. So if this is in the graveyard, you banish 2 monsters, add it back before you do your Skull Dread, and you have a just dead card that you actually get to throw back in the deck, and it actually works out really well because you have Phoenix Blade in your deck. So next turn, if you go into a Sold, you can automatically send this and bring out a Fuma or Sheehan Squire, so you know you have a Sold play for next turn as well. And that's just the name of the game, is putting resources back in. And there's actually a cool thing you can do with Curse Bamboo and going into Skull Dread when you're making 4 monsters. You equip it to one of them, and when it goes, you get to chain your Skull Dread and your Curse Bamboo. So you activate your Skull Dread, and then you chain your Curse Bamboo, and you add one of your Bamboo Swords back to your hand, and all this stuff, so you can do your golden or whatever you haven't used, and then that's another card you can return back with Skull Dread. So you get to draw 4 cards, and then you return these 3 cards that you don't really care about. So it just works really well, and there's all kinds of little options, and it also, Curse Bamboo works as a chain block, so when you do bring out your Isolde off the first time, and you are adding the Kageki back to your hand, you can actually, which we know we opened, so we have Broken already in our hand, and we will actually go ahead and send our 3 spells, since we have the 6 Samurai, blue and red in hand. We'll just go ahead and send another Curse Bamboo. We'll send our Divine Sword Phoenix Blade, and we will send the Moon Mirror that we return, and we will special summon a blue or a red from the deck. That way we can go ahead and get these guys out as well. All that stuff. But when we send our other Curse Bamboo, it's not once per turn, so you get to go ahead and add the Golden Bamboo to your hand as well. So you're just really set with you got a dead Kageki, you got your Broken Bamboo that you added off your first Curse Bamboo, and then you got your Golden that you added off the second when you used a Soul's effect to bring your other rank 3 out, or rank 3, your level 3 out from the deck. So the first thing I want to do is actually activate the Broken Bamboo Sword and then draw 2 off the Golden, just because I want to draw into my counter holders as quickly as possible, because these are what really maximize your consistency and get your boards built. And I mean, the faster you see Gateway, the better, but even 6 Sam United turns into a Pot of Greed, and Sheen's Dojo special summons from the deck, so it can help you dig out your Hatsume, your Fuma for your synchro plays, or if you can get 4 counters, you can bring out Kizaru that way and get your attributed monster back to your hand, your red or blue, so you get your +1 off that. And that's why I don't mind actually saving it for later and only running 2 copies. So right now we'll go ahead and activate our Golden Bamboo, and we will say we draw into our DDR, and we'll go ahead with 6 Sam United. So another play that I really love doing with DDR, and especially since I have a Kageki and a Kizaru engrave from the Soul that I made, and I know I can't bring the Kageki out, and I have Phoenix Blade engrave as well, I will actually go ahead and activate my 6 Sam United. I will banish these 2 monsters to add Divine Sword Phoenix Blade back to my hand, because now I have a banished Kizaru and I have a discard fodder for my DDR, so I can actually activate DDR, discard my Divine Sword Phoenix Blade back, special summon Kizaru, Kizaru's effect will pop, and it will actually add my other red from my deck to my hand, so I actually get fully set already on all my reds and blues. They're already out, and my 6 Sam United gets 1 counter on it. So now I can actually special summon my red since I control a blue. This will go up to 2. We will send it to the grave, draw 2 cards. It doesn't matter what we get. We can get Gateway, Dojo, we can get more Bamboo Swords, we can get Monster Reborns, or even more 6 Sam monsters. It's you can get your Upstarts, anything. And we know we already have our Skull Dread on board. We still have 2 monsters in our hand that are free special summons. So hopefully we draw into more 6 Sam Uniteds or Dojos. And this is just how you build massive boards, because you can go, if you get your extenders, you can go ahead and bring these guys out. You go ahead and make your Skull Dread. So you'll send your Assault, and you want to make sure you use different names, of course, so you actually get the draw effect from Skull Dread. So then you draw 4 more cards and you return 3, and it just helps you dig for what card you're looking for and that one copy of Gateway, which is when the deck really pops off. And keep in mind, we did all of this without seeing Keyzon or Grandmaster. So now I'm going to actually show you guys a couple more little plays that are really important, like such as if you have Broken Bamboo Sword already out, you've already used a draw 2, and you actually draw into another Cursed Bamboo, or something along the lines, you can actually activate the Cursed Bamboo, equip it to a monster, and then use its effect to return the Broken Bamboo Sword back to your hand. So that way you save your Broken, and then when you link away, you actually dig out another golden, and you can just activate and use again. So a lot of people just link this away, and then they're left with a dead card in their hand or something along the lines, not knowing that they can actually bounce this back. So that's actually one of the most important things you can do, just to consistently use your bamboo swords correctly. Also, I got asked about why I don't use Summon Sorceress that much. The main thing, like the only time I really ever use a Summon Sorceress is when I have a Fuma in hand. So I will actually like link away, bring out Summon Sorceress, throw Fuma to my opponent's side of the board, and since I have red, I will use Summon Sorceress to target Fuma and special summon a blue. Now blue's effects are negated on field, so what you can do is you can actually special summon the red, just because it's red effect to special summon, not blues. Then you can use red to tribute blue and target Fuma and destroy it. So then when Fuma gets destroyed and when blue gets tributed, you can actually special summon, or Fuma special summons from the deck, so you'll actually get another Kizaru, and then blue actually lets you add a 6 Samurai monster from your graveyard to the hand, except for it. So ideally you want to add your Grandmasters or your Kizarus or even your red. And also any of these are great options just to get more special summons on the board. So that's a really neat combo. And of course when Kizaru is special summoned off of Fuma, you get to go through your deck and add a blue since you no longer control one. So then you can actually special summon your blue and you have your Skull Dread and all this stuff, not to mention whatever monster you added back off of blue being tributed. So you have that as well. And one thing I do like to do is before I go into Skull Dread, I will actually put another body on board. Except like, so say if I had Keyzon, I will summon Keyzon and get rid of Keyzon and leave one of my reds or blues if there's more red or blues in the deck. If I've actually already used both copies, it doesn't matter which one you use. I don't leave Keyzon just in case I actually Skull Dread into another Keyzon, then Keyzon can't special summon himself if the only 6 Sam you control is Keyzon. It has to be a different name. So I'll leave like a blue just because I know I'm going to need my rank 3 to make Boral Savage. Or I keep saying rank 3, but level 3 to make Boral Savage. So I'll actually leave that, and then if I draw into a Keyzon, I'm free to special summon him. And that's just another little important thing to know, which ones to leave and which ones to take. Just because, again, a lot of the 6 Sam cards revolve around having a different name monster or a different attribute. So that's just something to pay attention to. But I want to say that's pretty much it for the actual main deck stuff. I did have people asking what made Naturia Barkion, which the Naturia plays. I have the Beast and the Barkion. Of course, it takes an Earth Tuner, so that is why we incorporated the Sheehan Squire. So Sheehan Squire can actually make it with a Keyzon or a Kizaru. So your 2 Earth monsters will make your Beast. And then if you're wanting to make the Barkion, say if you're playing against Paleo or Altergeist or anything that's trap heavy, you actually just use your Grandmaster. And that gives you the Synchro for Barkion. So it just takes your Squire and your Grandmaster. And the main way I get Squire and Fuma out is through the dojo, just because it just takes that 1 counter. And also to make Boral Savage, which is an 8, I use the level 1, a level 4, and a level 3. And it just scoops nice into the 8. You make your Savage under Skull Dread, and preferably your second Skull Dread, but it's not that big deal. If you can make your full board and you got your Gamma Seal and everything already out, then putting a Summon Sorceress under Savage, that's still 3 negates. Chances are your opponent's not going to last through the first turn, so you're only going to get to use one of them anyway. So even a Soul Day works. It's just the bigger the monster, the more attack boost it gets. So that's the main important part. Other than that, we didn't really talk about the Yugioh Waterfront. I'm still not sure how to pronounce this card, or how to get the Gamma Seal. There is one thing I want to talk about that real quick. Is hopefully you see this early, but it doesn't take long at all to get counters built on this, even late game. Oh, sorry, that's out of frame. So pretty much one thing I will do is if I draw into Gamma Seal off of Skull Dread, and I haven't used my field spell search, because when this has 3 counters on it, you search your Gamma Seal. And all that, if I haven't used the search yet, I will actually return Gamma Seal just because I know I can get it off the field spell. So it again turns my draw 4 into a draw 3, or draw 4 return 3 into a draw 4 return 2. Where if I have that dead Kageki, it's already a draw 4 return 2 or 1, and then you use your Phoenix Blade and just keep narrowing down the cards that you actually have to turn. That way you keep adding fresh cards to your hand and maximize your combos. I hope none of that was too messy or just too complicated to follow. I tried getting everything in. There's just so much to talk about this deck. Anyone who watched the replays knows it is a very combo heavy deck. It takes a lot of play time. The main thing is just getting comfortable with all the cards and finding the little niche tricks like returning the Divine Sword for the Skull Dread and just all those little things like that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or there's anything I didn't talk about or you feel like I could talk about more, let us know. We can even do one-on-one conversations, or you can comment, or if we need to, I can do another video. Till then, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And we actually have some really exciting stuff coming up that we're going to be talking to you about really soon. So thank you guys again.